What does high score mean? New high score, is that bad? What does that mean? Should I break it?
Hello everyone and welcome to Veteran Gaming. I am Aaron, and tonight we're going to be talking about Eternal Evolution, and specifically Randall, one of the assassin heroes that's been in the game since the game launched, but has become infinitely more important in the game now that Rickert has been brought into the game. He's going to elevate all of the assassins and basically his own damage too, based on how many assassins are on his team. So now assassins are an integral part of arena setups, and they're also really strong for Twilight Lands, Terra Dome, Roulette of Truth, a bunch of the melee instances. So we're going to talk about Randall tonight and what makes him tick, and some of the testing I did to make sure that he is geared and doing the proper amount of damage. So here we go. We got Randall. He's got a pretty, I don't know, it's not that intriguing of a kit, basically. He is going to summon a phantom. We'll start with this common because that talks about the phantom. So he's going to summon these phantoms. They're going to attack other people. They get copies of Randall's skills. But if several copies of Randall are hitting the same target, then they're going to get a damage reduction. So really strong at the beginning when there's multiple targets out there. And as the enemies are whittled down, then Randall becomes weaker, which is actually a theme in his kit. Because as you see here in his exclusive, he's going to gain an attack buff at the beginning of the round for once you have exclusive 10, 14%, but then after every 10 seconds, that's going to go down by 1%. So he gets weaker on his exclusive as the round continues, and he gets weaker on his phantom damage. His other common here, he's just going to swap positions with one of the shadows that's farthest away from him, strike the enemies with all of the shadows on the battlefield at the same time, and he's going to do some damage to surrounding areas. Also on his other common here, he's a bit of an AoE. He's going to throw daggers, him and his shadows, in a fan-shaped area, causing a little bit of AoE damage. And then his ultimate, he's going to summon an 8-second shadow near the target, and he's going to command all the shadows on the battlefield to strike the enemy. They're going to cause a bunch of damage, and then his phantom assassin is going to be reset. So he's very strong at the beginning, and he has a little bit of AoE damage, which in my opinion, Randall is a little bit stronger for PvE, player versus environment contact, inside of Eternal Evolution. If you're talking strictly PvP, I'm going to give it a little bit to Rakana. I'm going to give Rakana that edge just because they have a little bit of a stun in Rakana's kit and has a little bit more single target focused damage, whereas Randall has some stuff in his kit that's going to focus a little bit of AoE damage. So there's a little bit of difference between Randall and Rakana. Again, my recommendation is Randall for PvE, Rakana for PvP, but they both work in both. Equipment testing for Randall, I had the best luck with Gluttony and then the Sun Signet for crit rate. I also had the best luck with crit rate gloves. You're going to want him in that 60 to 70% crit rate, and then attack and attack. That gave me 8.7, 9.3, 8.6 on my testing for this set. The next closest set was a crit damage times 2 and a crit rate times 1, with crit rate on the gloves giving a 70% crit rate overall. That got me an 8.9 on the high, but it also gave me a 6.6 and a 7.7, so a little bit lower, much more variable than the Gluttonous with the crit rate, which is going to give a much more standard and higher total. The other one's the Cookie Cutter and the crit damage and crit rate sets, but only 30% crit rate. Did significantly less, so we're not even going to talk about them. This is my recommendation. If you do not have strong Gluttony sets, then I would recommend going 2 crit damage and 1 crit rate, or 2 crit rate and 1 crit damage, but you're going to want to focus on getting that crit rate in the 60 to 70% average area. So I'm going to show you a little bit on what he can do compared to some of the other assassins. So I threw him in. I'm trying to keep all the bonuses out of it, right? So I don't have Masrani, I don't have the assassin here. I'm just trying to see what they do specifically with the damage, and mainly compare him against Rakana, because Bailey and Rick are kind of in a world of their own. So I just wanted to show you a little bit of PvE content. Randall versus Rakana, that way I'm not just saying, yeah, go with him for PvE, go with Rakana for PvP. I just want to show you that some of the damage numbers do support throwing Randall. And again, this is solo target, so Randall's damage isn't going to be quite as, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Quite as showy, I guess, compared to Rakana's, simply because there's only one target. Whereas if there were a couple of targets here, then Randall would be doing more damage. But he should end up doing more damage anyway. From pretty much all of my testing here, he's going to edge out Rakana by 1 to 2 million. So let this play out a little bit. As you can see here, he's about 1.3 up right now. Yeah, he's gonna about stay in that. So 1 to 1.5, maybe a 2 million increase right after his ultimate or something. And real quick, let's throw him in. Let's see how much his AoE damage does, just so everybody has an idea. We'll try to throw him in Sinsaro Marsh. We'll just throw the full assassin crew in there and see if we can get a little bit of a picture of that AoE damage I was talking about. We might have to take Rickert out. I'm a little concerned that Rickert's just gonna blow through. Let's get rid of you two. I just want to check on the damage. Assassins is what I'm talking about. So we'll put you two up there, you two there. Alright. Let's just see, just for fun, if we can get a tiny view of Randall's AoE damage and how much it's actually doing as compared to the completely single target Rakana. Alright, so now we have our multiple targets up. Rakana's still staying with him for right now. I'm a little surprised it wasn't a bit quicker for Randall. Yeah, Rickert and Bailey are going to kill him before this is even worth testing, it seems like. Seems like it's about... we're up at 1.5 now. 2 million. So yeah, you are going to get a little bit of a boost here for AoE. Randall's going to be a little bit better in that content, which is actually also going to help for PvP too, just because you'll have 5 targets to begin with. Oh, everybody's dead. But there you go. He was 2.3 higher, so like I said, he does have some AoE in his kit. So there's my recommendations for Randall. He can be a pretty solid hero. He's not exactly knocking anybody's socks off, but do remember, especially paired with Rickert, Rickert is going to put those soul swords onto onto Randall. And then every time Randall attacks, the soul sword's going to attack too. So the faster your assassins are attacking, the more damage that Rickert is doing. So he pairs very well with Rickert. He pairs well with all the assassin content. He's got a pretty sweet kit, weird hood and face thing going on, but whatever. His style choices are his own. So there we go. There's my spiel on Randall. Hopefully this helps if you guys were looking for a little bit of information on which assassins to use and how to build Randall properly. If this video did help, please give me a big thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so you're not missing upcoming content. And as always, guys, have fun. Good luck.
So I got that going for me, which is nice.